Vietnam, resulting in his death on 31 January 1966, and assigned by the Adjutant General of the Army and also by the Secretary of the Army. I've done a little bit of reading about Eugene McCoy. He was an infantryman. He was in the 1st Cavalry, 12th Regiment. And if you ever saw the movie Once We Were Soldiers, that falls right into it, because this was a sister regiment in the 1st Cavalry Division. They were attacking an enemy position, and the enemy was well dug in. And this individual was killed in action. And he used an M79 grenade launcher and a .45 caliber. And he fought to protect his fellow servicemen. And a buddy of his who related the story in an email that I got said that he guarded the body of Eugene McCoy the entire night. And that must have been a pretty sad situation. But they survived because of his actions. Well, he's one that we should remember along with the other ones here. Well, how about an MD? Richard Earl Donahue, Commander, 05 Navy. His wife is here. She came all the way from Oklahoma, and her son, Clifford. And I'm hoping they can come up to the front. Here they come. Let's give them a nice hand, all the way from Oklahoma. I may add, coming up, I talked quite a bit with Mrs. Donahue, and we've had a real good chat about a lot of things. And she's going to tell you a lot more right here.
Two sons and a daughter stand at their father's grave, each one placing their flowers upon the hallowed ground. They are 11, 10, and 4, trying to be so very brave, their hearts full of sorrow, not making a sound. At their grave, two sons and a daughter do kneel, and the drops of tears fall silently upon the flowers there. His voice is forever silent. His touch no longer will they feel. Their hearts are full of love as they say a silent prayer. Their father had gone to war far away in a country that many here at home chose to ignore. Throughout the nation, one could hear the people say, "No reason why we should be involved anymore." A mother says to her 3 children so very young, "Never again will your father be here to see all of you to grow up in the years to come. No sharing precious moments with you will there be." A son when he hits his first home run, a daughter on the night of her first date. The tears and laughter, the love of children so young, no father to share these times because of fate. A mother says to her dear children, 3, "Your father is gone like so many others before. They gave their lives so that we all would be free, fighting the wars here as well as on other shores. My dear children, a heritage all three of you do share with sons and daughters of men today and long ago. Their fathers died like yours in the sorrow they did bear for the price of freedom and liberty in making it so. For all of those who have died in the service of our land, feelings of pride, compassion, and love will remain. Two sons and a daughter will always reverently stand to honor them all, for their deaths were not in vain. As the tears on the flower petals in the sunlight shine, a mother says to her three children this day, may all the people remember now and for all time the price of freedom and liberty a father, two sons and a daughter did pay. I have a short speech here about Richard, people who remembered him. He was a true dedicated doctor to the medical profession as a general practitioner, a GP, as his father and his grandfather before him. This was a type of medicine he chose to practice. His brother James, a surgeon, made the statement that Rich has the hands of a surgeon. He would be a magnificent surgeon, even better than me. His skill was demonstrated many times. He admired the military way of life from high school on to medical school and was involved with police department and law enforcement. So it is no surprise that when he went into the Navy, he had found where he wanted to be. As a flight surgeon with an air group or as a medical officer with the ship, he was able to combine the military part with the old-fashioned general practice of medicine, that where one took the time with the patient, communicating and caring. He had, during his early years in the U.S. Navy, he performed his duty as a flight surgeon on two aircraft carriers. And they were aircraft carriers did the maneuvers, preparing themselves for the possibility of a conflict. The separations that would occur during his duty aboard an aircraft carrier were something we did not enjoy, yet we both understood it was necessary. At one time while on deployment, he wrote, "Our separations may be hard for others to comprehend. They are something we both know about, and you can only really know this after you've been in combat. And you really never understand until after you have. Those of us out here don't really much care why others are not here, as everyone at home seems to be. But we know why we are here, and believe me, we are all convinced it is necessary. It is not only the job of, but the duty of a professional naval man, which you know I have always considered myself and will all are more than just a little proud of not only doing our duty, but doing a good job as well. He did not want to have to be away from his family, and he wrote to me at one time, it was at Christmas time, when he was on the USS Lexington. He wrote, "You know, in one way, maybe this has been the most significant, most meaningful Christmas in my life. Before, I've always been with my loved ones, and the presents I gave were material things bought with money. But this year, I feel like My present is that my loved ones and all the people at home can have Christmas in peace and security, or at least more than if we weren't out here. This present has actually cost more in my own personal effort and inconvenience, and maybe is actually more important and meaningful than any other I have ever given. At least I would like to think so. In closing, he was a man that left an unforgettable and profound impression on all those he met or he knew, whether it was just for a short time or for his lifetime. He believed in his country, and he knew that the freedom we enjoy must be maintained as it has been for so long in our country's history. That freedom has been acquired through the lives of so many, yet we must never forget them. There are those that are dying and defending our freedom even today. He has joined those gallant men and women in defending the freedom we all share, but sometimes forget the price that was paid to keep us free. God bless them all. And now, in closing, I have one other poem. This dedication to all the men women out there that are defending our country. A long black granite wall lies upon the ground, etched with thousands of names you can see. Each wall reflects the people who gather around, looking for a name which is inscribed for eternity. A memorial to those that died in a long, long war that had no official beginning or end, cause or goal. But they fought bravely and well, as those who before answered their country's call and sacrificing their soul. It was a war that many Americans wanted to forget, an unpopular war dividing our country in two, against those who stayed home and those that went, each group going their way, their right to choose. For those who came home, then we did ignore, for they remind us of a war of guilt and shame. There was no victory celebration as in wars before, and we reached out to find someone to blame. This long black wall that nobly stands alone reflects the time to bring us all together, uniting us with those who have returned home, along with all of those that are gone forever. 58,007 graven names of those missing and who did not survive, showing to us the cost of that war far away. The wall, like a mirror, reflects those who arrived, bringing us together, the past and present that day. The young, the old, the disabled, and survivors too come to pay their respects to those names they see, honoring the courage, devotions, and sacrifices for you, for our country, the price paid for liberty. Let us not forget, as we did once before, the names of these silent, gentle heroes we see. Shed a few tears, say a silent prayer forever.